Hey, what's up YouTube? My name's Aiden. I'm an insurance player, and I wanted to make a movement guide about mainly advanced movement um, that is actually useful in games. Um, so not a bunch of gimmick movement or movement that is just like way hard to do in an actual game, so it's just never useful or it's just too rare to be used. This is going to focus on actual movement that you use in actual games. So enough talk, let's just get into it. So I will skim over the basics. So first up, we have dash sliding. So you can slide at the end of your dash, and you want to time your slide at the end of your dash, so you don't want to do something like that where you dash and immediately slide as you don't go very far. So for example, if I'm running away or chasing someone down this ramp, ideally I would want to slide like this. So I time my dash to right so it ends at the top of the stairs. So this would be way faster than wasting 2 stamina on a dash jump here, or just doing a poorly timed dash like that. Speaking of dash sliding, you can use the slide to cancel your dash on purpose. So this is useful, for example, is when you want to dash for the speed, but you don't want to go too far. So let's say I'm chasing someone down this subway, and I'm going to have a chance to Vindicta snipe them. I wouldn't, but I only gain my 1 point of stamina here. So like ideally, I would dash like here, but let's say I only gain my point of stamina like here, but I still want to dash because otherwise I'm gonna lose him. If I just dash normally, like it's gonna be too far. So what you can do is you can dash, cancel it with the slide, and then get that angle and perform other actions quicker. Because that's the other thing, you can't parry while you're dashing. So for example, if I need to dash to chase this guy into this corner, but I hear him heavy melee, I can cancel it and I can parry. So next up, let's talk about air dashing. So when you're air dashing, you always want to perform a diagonal dash because it's faster. So if you pay attention to the number above my WASD, the number in brackets, see if I do a forwards dash, my max velocity reaches about 596, 595, 596 again. See if I perform a diagonal dash by holding W and D or W and A, it is more often than not a little bit faster and takes you farther. So we got a 600, 611, 614. So you always want a diagonal dash when dashing in the air. So for example, if I want to cross this gap, do not want to do it like that. I'd want to do it like this. The other method of air dashing is I look a little bit to the left, and then I only hold D. This is useful later, but it doesn't make much of a difference when air dashing on its own. So I generally prefer just holding W and D and W and A because it's more intuitive for me. Alright, and this pretty much everyone knows this, but you can downwards dash, but I think it is underutilized by like everyone right now. Including me, but I've been starting to implement it more. So if you ever get knocked up in the air, and obviously you're a predictable target in the air, doing a downwards dash to get to cover quicker instead of just lasting in the air for longer and dodging. So like if I'm about to get carbined from a paradox, like it depends on the situation, but I could dodge and stay in the air for a long time still. So if I don't time my dash for...
Has arrived.
That was loud. If I don't time my dash correctly for when he shoots, like he's just gonna... I'm still in a predictable arc because I can't air dash twice. It'd be better to go downwards because I can dodge the carbine and get to cover quicker. Alright, up next we have air strafing. So air strafing is in a lot of games, but basically what air strafing is when you're in the air,
the spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
You always want to let go of W, and then hold the direction that you want to go in the air. Then you move your mouse in that direction. So for example, if I want to air strafe to the left here with maximum speed, I would dash jump, hold A, and then look slightly to the left as I'm doing it. So you pretty much always want to do this when you're in the air. And it takes some getting used to. Just make sure your movements are nice and smooth, and it just helps you a little bit. So over here is a really nice example. I can like get around this corner pretty smoothly. So air strafing is useful when you're in the air for like longer periods of time. So I'm on top of mid, and I do an air strafe like that. Up next we have bunny hopping. So bunny hopping is most notable on Viscous, for example, but it is useful on everybody when you have a large amount of velocity that you want to keep. So let's say I got a large amount of momentum with my punch.
They'll think it's a puddle of goo.
In order
Then it'll
to...
punch them in the face.
Okay, Viscous. In order to keep that momentum,
Goo punch.
I can bunny hop as soon as I hit the ground. So bunny hopping in this game is just jumping as soon as you hit the ground. So one more time.
Hello.
It is very hard. Takes skill. Takes some getting used to. Try it one more time. I don't even think I'm doing it right. There's no better way to explain it. It's just like practice.
To see a goo fist.
I think that was a good one. See, and I accidentally double jumped. That's another mistake you can make when you do it. The easier method that also allows a way better turning is slide hopping. So instead of jumping when you hit the ground, you're just continuously sliding and then jumping like this. Oops, let me get a good boost going. So as you can see, way better turning. If I just transfer into a slide, I'll do it one more time. Try not to bump into anything.
Leave it to me.
You see, way better turning than normal bunny hopping, but I believe bunny hopping is slightly faster. So I can use this with Viscous. Anytime you've gained a large amount of momentum, so if you hopped off a zipline or something. So anything like that where you have a large amount of speed and you want to keep it, try and put some bunny hops in there. Alright, so next we have my favorite, which is corner boosting and wall bouncing. So if you didn't already know how to wall bounce, you just go up to a wall, and in this case I would press D and jump at the same time as I go into the wall. So you just put in a movement key that is opposite of the wall that you are facing. So if I'm looking at it, S. So wall bouncing usually isn't very good on its own. Usually you want to combine it with a punch, that is its main use, to take high grounds without using stamina. Usually I would have to double jump up here. Wait. Ah, I can't even reach it with the double jump. That's crazy. I would have to come up here and then double jump. But if you do a wall bounce and a punch, I can make it all the way to the top. Just like that. So you want to be using this anytime you want to go up a level without using stamina, which is very, very often. So get used to doing this 100%. You've probably seen this one before. This is one of my favorite uses of that tech. Whenever you're chasing or running away in Secret Shop, you don't have stamina, you can do a backwards wall bounce with S, and then immediately punch and hold space to mantle the top to get away. Alright, up next we have corner boosting. So corner boosting is just a variation of the wall bounce. So all you're doing is just wall bouncing on a corner. It's that simple. So I'm going into this with A, and I press D when I bounce and space. So you do it off of corners, and that's how you get that big boost upwards. By the way, if you ever want to try this one, make sure you space out your jumps, like you reach the apex of your corner boost, and then you double jump. If you do it too early, sorry, if you do it too early, you won't make it. So now I'll just go over some spots that you can corner boost. So obviously that's one that's actually useful to go steal the camp. There's a zipline right next to it, but if you ever don't want to take the zipline, if you watch my lane guide video, you know about this one. And this is where you do the rare forward wall bounce. So as you can see here, in order to jump off this wall, I look down and I press W when I'm going to jump. And that's how I can make it up here in tower dive. Not really tower dive, but A lot of people like to sit up here, and you can kill them for it. And if you didn't watch my lane video, watch it. It's really good. You can also corner boost off these barrels. This one's pretty hard, as you can see. Usually I can do it first try in game if I'm really focused. Just like that. You can also corner boost off of boxes. Not very useful, but I think there's one spot where it's actually useful. And on all these, the main skill gap, after you get the hang of the wall bouncing timing, is just like how much you go into the corner basically with your A or W. Or sorry, A or D. As I said earlier, you can corner boost off of all these trucks. So one box route that I like to do is I punch these, but then most people will just go all the way up here, and they'll either get up here or go through here, and they'll get these last two boxes, but I like to punch these and then corner boost up. I think it's a little faster, I'm not sure. You can also make it all the way to the top of mid with a corner boost right here with superior stamina. I don't believe you could do it if you do not have it, because superior stamina increases your jump distance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can only make it up there with superior stamina, but if you're a Lash player or something, it's a nice quick way to get up to mid. You can also just get up here, but you don't need the corner boost for that, really.
Let's have some fun.
You can also do a 4 as well, corner boost, sorry, off of all these railings. Not sure how useful that is. You used to be able to use it to make it up top of there, but I don't believe it reaches anymore. Maybe if you have superior stamina. I think if you have superior stamina, you can get up there. And I've also gotten a snipe kill off of this before. But even that's stretching it. That's pretty much all the useful corner boosts. I'm not going to go over anything more than that. I think those are the main useful ones. Or is it? Alright, I lied. There's a truck one right here. There you go. I think that's the last one. Don't be afraid to also invent your own. I'm sure I didn't get all of them probably, but those are a few that I like to use actually in games. Alright, and last but not least, and arguably the most important, is zipline movement conservation. So, basically, you're on a zipline. You have two options. You jump off of it, or you crouch off. You pretty much always want to crouch off of it, because this maintains your momentum. Like removes the air drag or something. For 2 seconds. The only time you want to jump off is if you just want to do something like this. That's the only time. So in order to do this, is you go on the zipline, you crouch off, and then you do a diagonal dash. That will give you the most speed. So there's 2 ways to do the diagonal dash, and one of them is faster than the other. And I only learned it recently from my friend Basil. So I'll show you the first method first because it is more accurate, easier to do, and only slightly slower. However, I've been trying to see how far I can use the faster method, even though it is harder in my opinion, but maybe if you master it, it is, you can still...
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
You can still be as accurate as the other method if you get good at it. Alright, so the first method is you crouch, and you see I'm holding W and D, crouch, and then dash off. It's that simple. The other method is instead of holding W and D, I only hold D or A, and then I look at around like a 40, 30 degree angle away from what I'm dashing to. Like that. So, if you do it perfectly, you can land over there, but if you do the W and D method, you can only make it about here. So it's slightly worse, the other method, but they have their pros and cons. So pretty much every time you go off a zip, you want to do one or the other to gain the most speed afterwards. But really quickly, I did forget to mention here, you can actually look at the velocity differences. So this has a skill gap to it, so it's all depending on where you're looking is how you get the most speed. So if you look at my velocity, it's right above the keyboard overlay. It says 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0 in brackets right now. So pay attention to the non-bracket number when I dash off the zip. So if I do W and D, 766, 747, 770, 767, 750, 783. So it fluctuates depending on where you're looking. But if we do the harder method, in my opinion, 802, 778. So I'm not very good at it yet, so I can't do perfect jumps yet, but in general it is faster. So we had 796, 786, 780, that one wasn't really good. You can see, on average, only holding W or D is faster. And then we need to combine this with wall bouncing to create rollouts. So rollouts are very important for ganking and catching waves the fastest. And I'm going to go over how to get across the whole map utilizing them right now. I will be using both methods. As I said, I'm better at the worst one, so you might see me use it a couple times, but I've also been learning the faster method, so I might use it a couple times. So you can just see kind of both examples as I show you how to get around the map. So the one you just saw is right here. Oh my god, I did it. So you see how I can fall off because I made it. I did the faster method, so I made it all the way here. So I'm gonna go to green from here. Do something like that. Do a double jump. I'm trying to do it better though. So you can do something like that. So that time I did the slower method because it's just easier to do on that one in my opinion. This is good for getting the bridge buff. You do it off that wall too. Not going to show you that though. You can do it off the pillar. This pillar has indents, so and you can mantle it, so it is a little harder. There we go. And it's really good at getting the bridge buff. That one takes some practice. You do something like that. You can either go through there, or you can go up top. You can also just make it up here and fan in. Alright, so I had to restart the game because it was just starting to lag too much. So we already went over yellow to green, so let's go over green to yellow. So we already know about this one. The other way you can get to yellow is this way. So either go like that, or then go down the alley like this. If you have the guardian down, you can go this way like that. Alright, let's go over green to blue. List it up. Like that. You can either slide down here, or you can slide down there. If you are taking the zip this way, you can bounce off this. Like that. Same thing again, slide down here, or down the other ramp. Next, you can go through mid by bouncing off this. Bumped my head, but you get the point. You can actually cross this gap if you do it perfectly. You can do it with both methods. And this one's really good because if you don't have the guardian down yet, you can still do it. You go down here. Messed up my wall bounce. And you can go up here or through down here.
Let's see how they deal with the murder of crows.
Alright, so now blue to green is the exact same thing. I'm not going to show you, but I'll tell you the walls. You can do it off that wall, that wall, that wall. It's the same thing. Haven't taken out the Guardian. Okay, so let's go over going to purple. Once again, I don't know if I'm going to show you all the examples, because it's just mirrored basically, but there's that. I think if you do it right, you can make it all the way up there. This one is actually a little different. Go off that. Hit the bump, or the wall, but if you do it right, you can just make it all the way past here. I'll actually try to show you that one. There you go. Not the best, but still did it. Do it off this wall too. This one's really good, really fast. That. There's a half decent example. Last but not least, we have purple. Purple's still the same as yellow, but you can do it off this wall. Looks like I have movement buff now, so this is gonna be a little harder. Can I cleanse? Alright, well I have movement buff, but it doesn't make a difference for the record. You do something like this to get over here. This one isn't that good. Oh, there we go, I did it. You don't go this far though. You make it to the buff. Alright, so purple to blue is a little different. So you go like that. And either go down here.
No one hides from me.
Or you can go here and get on the fan. You can also do it while going this way, just off this wall. It's basically the same thing. Like that. And you can also still get up here. And last but not least, we have, when you are in the spawn, you can change through all the zips like this. Hit the wall there, but if you do it right, you just go right here. That's how you can swap between all the zips. A little quicker. Alright, but that's basically all the movement tech that I think is actually useful in actual games. If you think I missed anything, feel free to leave a comment. And if you want to see more guides like these, hit the like button. And if you don't, leave a comment and tell me what to upload next, because I don't know what the heck to upload. Also, 99% of you are unsubscribed, so if you could subscribe, that'd be really cool. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.